Take some time to talk this morning about a really tough topic, that being suicide. Several recent studies show a spike in the number of people taking their own lives, and that increase is particularly high for young people.
New research out this week shows there are significant racial disparities when it comes to suicide, depending on whether they're kids or teenagers. News 3's Christina Lorey is here with some reaction this morning from doctors who are working with kids here in Madison. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Adam and Danica. It is very important to talk about issues like this. Suicide rates among black and white children over the age of 12 has stayed nearly the same over the past 15 years. But a big change in the numbers for kids between the ages of 5 and 12 is proving deeply troubling for people who work with minorities. The new trend has community leaders and doctors worried and now asking why.
If you don't talk about it, it doesn't make it go away.
SSM health doctor Travis Copeland isn't shying away from talking about a new study from JAMA Pediatrics. Black children under 13 now 2 times more likely to commit suicide than white children.
The open communication is one of the best tools we have.
Even with that communication, questions linger. Nationwide Children's Hospital looked at suicide rates over the past 15 years. And while the number of black children who killed themselves spiked, the trend reversed among teens. Suicide rates dropped 50% among black adolescents ages 13 to 17 than white teenagers that age.
When you look at the racial disparities in states like Wisconsin, it's not surprising.
Michael Johnson, president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, says 47% of kids from the city's most challenged communities aren't ready for kindergarten. Half of African-American fathers are in jail, on parole, or on probation in Dane County. And in Madison, there's a 20% unemployment gap between blacks and whites.
So you put all those things together, and then you look at homelessness. You know, the average age of a homeless person in the city is 8 years of age. So you put all those things together, and a family or a young person can lose hope real fast.
Because kids who are alone, upset, and impulsive are the kids more likely to do stuff when they're feeling down or overwhelmed by their emotions.
Why?
We have no idea.
Although there is no concrete answer, Johnson has some ideas. Limited after-school programs, too much time on social media sites, drug and alcohol abuse, and mental health concerns.
When kids are not engaged, when we're not investing in them, when we're not wrapping services around these young people, they lose hope.
If people, when they're upset and alone, have someone they can talk to, that gives them an option other than sitting there and doing something else that comes in their mind about it.
Taking time to talk in hopes better communication will help researchers understand why. Now, the study's author is already pitching suggestions to future researchers, saying they should try to figure out whether risk factors identified in already finished studies of white kids are associated with suicide in black youth, as well as how those factors change throughout childhood. 700 Wisconsinites die by suicide every year, and it's the second leading cause of death among kids.
Some really interesting and startling statistics there. We thank you, Christina, for shedding some light on them. Thank you so much. So we do want to remind you that we have resources up on channel3000.com. Just last week, we talked about the issue of suicide in the farming community. If you or someone you know is struggling with any aspect of their mental health, we have resources and advice from SSM Health doctors up on our Time to Talk page. That's also where you can order our Time to Talk activity book for free to help younger kids understand their emotions. It's all over on channel3000.com/time for kids.
608